What is up? What is up, Inbound? Uh-oh. As soon as they let me out here on mic holding this, I'm like, this is gonna be a mess. And I can't wait, I'm so excited. Inbound is a vibe. It is the only event that's actually a vibe, and I'm stoked to be here. If you don't know me, I talk incredibly fast. You'll probably get nothing out of this session other than some anxiety. So there's that. Isn't that a great sell? I really know how to push my agenda. So often in life and in marketing, we hear about best practices, and they're just complete and total garbage. And why am I up here? I'm up here because I'm a regular dude. All right, they're like, all right, we got the Hot Wings guy, we got Amy Poehler, we need like a regular human in between, so it's like talking normal. And I am you. That's why I'm up here. I am you. What the hell do I do for a living? I have an agency, about a 100-person agency in South Florida. I have a media company. We do all these crazy events. But I deal with what you deal with. Horribly boring meetings, too many emails, Slack messages. I deal with the same thing that you deal with. And I'm up here because I've realized something, that I tried to follow all of these best practices. My whole life, whether it's in my life or in my marketing, it got me nowhere. Okay, I was one giant template. It was terrible. And then I started to realize, wait a minute, why am I following all this nonsense? And I tried doing this from the very beginning. That is me. Okay, I'm 14 years old at Comdex, this giant trade show. I don't know who the hell I thought I was. Like, why was I at this event? Who was I calling? Okay, nobody else had a phone. Okay, I don't know who I was calling. And then I think they should have called child services, because why did I own that tie? Okay, I legit, I look at this picture, I get disturbed, I go to my folks, I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why do I look like that? But I've been trying to do this forever. And you know what else I learned? I learned that it's not always easy. It's not always straightforward. Okay, so Yamini talked about this in her speech, her amazing speech. She just dropped off one of her kids at college. I just dropped off my son 3 weeks ago at Tulane, Roll Wave, okay? And so we're there, and my wife's there. We're moving him into the dorm room. If you've never done this, you've also never sweated this amount in one period of time. And I'm the least handy person, I think, in the universe, if that's possible. So my wife gives me and my son this giant box. It's a headboard. She goes, all right, this will take you about 20 minutes. Just put this together. And there was like electrical in there and stuff and screws and whatever. Oh, I had a complete breakdown. Okay, 2 hours later, I realized these instructions suck. I cannot figure this out for the life of me. And I said, just get through it. And that is life and that is marketing. And that's why you see 400 zip ties. Okay, there were no zip ties in that box. Okay, but we got through it. You don't need to follow the path. Do I text my son every day since then saying, did it fall on your head? Maybe. Okay, maybe. By the way, zip ties, underrated. Okay, if you get nothing out of this session, buy zip ties. They really do a great job. All right, so best practices in general, what are they? You hear them all the time. They're literally a Jurassic Park of outdated ideas, occasionally, when you're lucky, sprinkled in with some misinformation. Because isn't that great when we tell each other things that are absolutely not true? So let's get into rapid ones, all right? You always hear this one. I started out my career, this is what they told me. You gotta be the first one there and the last one to leave. That's how you really prove that you're dedicated. Oh, I did that. I lost my mind. I would get there so early. I waited till the last person left. I was exhausted. I did nothing. I accomplished nothing. Everyone thought I was a doofus that just got there early, okay? You could get there early and do nothing. It's what you do. Don't be late for Zooms, though. I have a 5-minute rule. I don't know what your rule is, but I wait 5 minutes. If it hits 6 minutes, I'm off that Zoom. Get early to Zooms. That's very, extremely annoying and not nice, okay? Or don't take a vacation. It shows you're dedicated. It also shows you're dead inside, okay? Okay? Stop it. Get out of there. Use your time off. What are you doing? Life's too short. They'll be fine without you, I promise. It's okay. And then these things are ridiculous. Only do what makes you happy. This is the type of best practice that we chase. And like, oh no, maybe I'm doing it wrong. I'm not always happy. Who the hell's always happy? What is going on? How are you gonna pay your bills when you're always happy? Or they say, don't go food shopping when you're hungry. Cool, I'm only gonna buy toilet paper then, okay? That's the only time I wanna go food shopping, so I can go, oh my, all these potato chips. The potato chip aisle has become my favorite aisle. You can buy chips of all kinds. Listen, in general, if it's something that you would put on a mug, you shouldn't do it, you shouldn't believe it. It's total garbage, okay? In life, mug-worthy is horrendous. Let's go with the ultimate best practice that I actually think hurts people. This actually hurts careers. It hurts all of us. It hurts me. Love what you do, and you'll never work a day in your life. Why does this hurt people? It hurts people because you're sitting there and you hear this, and you're like, I don't love my job. maybe I'm not doing the right thing because people love their job. And by the way, if you love your job, amazing. You won the job lottery. It's incredible. Here's a secret. I don't love my job. I don't love my job. It's okay. You could say it. Okay, there's not like something bad's going to happen. It's okay. Am I passionate about my job? I am. Do I like learning? Does it get me jazzed? Do I get fired up? Absolutely. But do I love it? Do I wake up in the morning and say, you know what, today's going to be so great? I'm going to Slack reaction 50 times. I'm going to email back 300 emails. And if I'm lucky, I'll be on a Microsoft Teams meeting because that is so awesome. There's nothing better than a Microsoft Teams meeting. Okay? You don't have to love your job. You have to not hate your job. And here's the reality of it. If you are learning, if you are growing, if you're surrounded by decent human beings, maybe you laugh sometimes, if you don't fantasize about stabbing yourself with a spork, okay? You are doing great. You are in a great job. Now, if you hate your job, get out of that. If you're in a toxic work environment, get out of that. But don't chase this myth that you hear that you're supposed to love your job. And if you do, that's great for you. And people say, I want to follow my passion. Okay? Great. You know what happens? That you should follow your passion. It'd be great to have your passion and your work combined. But be a realist. Let's say you love music. Okay? You love music. Okay, I'm going to go into the music. I'm going to be in that industry. And then you get in, you get that job. Now you're in the music industry. Oh, I'm going to love it. You're still on Zooms. You still have spreadsheets. You're still on Slack. You're still doing all the same things, and that's okay. You don't have to buy into this thing that you have to love your job. You can like it, be passionate, you can grow. I love reality TV. I love pizza. I love yacht rock. I love all of these things. Okay, I want one of these people's jobs. I do. Those are the jobs I want, right there. But you know what? I guarantee you, Jesse Palmer, if you don't know who that is, that's the guy who's the host of everything in Bachelor Nation, the guy in the tuxedo-looking thing. I guarantee he doesn't love his job right now because Bachelor in Paradise did terrible. Okay? He's stressing out about it. People don't love their jobs, and it's okay. It's okay. Now, the one that crushes me these days is AI. You've heard of AI. AI is going to take your job. Ooh. And then the add-on now that we all hear is this one. No, someone who knows AI is going to take your job. Why is this like nails on a chalkboard every time I hear this? This is such total and complete, absolute hot garbage. AI is not taking your job. It's not. Here's what's going to happen. Well, we all believe, everybody thinks somebody else knows more about AI. Nobody's an AI expert. When Dharmesh was up here the other day, it blew my mind. He was talking about AI, and he goes, well, there are these experts that know way more than I do. And I was like, if Dharmesh is an AI expert, I'm in deep crap. I mean, holy cow. I'm like, that dude doesn't think he knows about AI? Nobody's an AI expert. You don't need to be an AI expert. What you need to do with AI, here's what you need to be doing with AI. You need to realize nobody's an expert. I went on ChatGPT, and I asked ChatGPT this. How many people put the word expert in their profile on ChatGPT? 15 million people are experts on LinkedIn. And what a time to be alive. There are 750,000 visionaries on LinkedIn. I mean, we live in an incredible time. By the way, if either one of these words are on your profile, I'd like you to update them today. It's embarrassing. I mean, visionary. Every time I see somebody who says they're a visionary, I'm like, oh my God, cancel this call. This person is a tool. Like, instant cancel, okay? Oh, so what does this all mean? What should we be doing about AI? First of all, you need to tell AI everything about yourself. Let me tell you why. 20 years ago, when Amazon first came out, more than 20 years, in the 90s, I'll never forget it. At the time, when you would go to buy something on Amazon, it would ask you for your credit card. Everyone was freaked out. You can't give Amazon your credit card. No way, they're going to steal your data. Nobody was giving out their credit card. They were completely freaked out. Now, I will literally give my credit card out to everybody in this room. Nobody cares. Oh, you want my credit card? Here you go, right? That is where we're at with AI right now. Well, I can't tell AI everything about my life, about my business. That is literally how you get the most out of AI. You can go to all these sessions, all these advanced stuff. This one thing will change everything. If you go on AI all the time, I do this every single week. I tell it everything. Everything about my business. Okay, I'm a business owner. I'm focused on these markets. We're having struggling with this go-to-market. We have this product. We have this thing you could download. Everything I could possibly tell it. I do in my personal life. These are the TV shows I'm watching. This is what I'm eating. This is what's going on. This is what's going on in my family. I tell it everything. Because it's like going to the doctor. Okay, when you go to the doctor and you go, hi, I don't feel well. The doctor, like, okay, here's some Advil, right? That's great. No, what do you do when you go to the doctor? Hi, my elbow hurts. I think my earlobe is twitching, okay? And I just threw up 4 times and it was green. What should I do, right? That is what we tell the doctor everything. But we don't tell AI anything. We go in there and say, hi, can you write me a blog? That's what we're doing. This is ridiculous. The more you tell it, the more you get out of it. Here's the story. Let's talk about AEO. Yamini talked about this in her speech. Answer engine optimization, or AI engine optimization. This is the thing that a lot of inbound has been talking about, right? About SEO, search engine optimization. That's over here. A lot of people now are going to ChatGPT and Claude and Perplexity, and they're asking it stuff, and we want our websites to show up. But I'm not an AI expert. I can't, all this AEO stuff, what do I even do? I don't even know what to do. You don't need to be an expert. Here's literally what you do. You need to ask AI how to do stuff. It's really that easy. So when you go on ChatGPT and you say, with this prompt, what is the best prompt to ask you to have my website AEO optimized? It will then write the prompt of what you should ask it. You then use that prompt, and what it gives you back is a literal breakdown. Do these things. Put these things on your website. Use this schema. Do these 5 things. It's just literally telling you what you need to do. You don't need to be an AI expert. You just need to ask your best friend, AI, how do I do it? That is it. You don't need to be intimidated by AI. You need to lean into it. When you lean into AI, that's how you win. Now, here's the thing that everyone should get very excited about. To me, it's massive opportunity. How many websites out there are actually optimized right now to have their stuff show up in AI results, like nobody's site? So when I asked ChatGPT, how many SaaS websites, for example, are optimized for answer engine optimization? 8 to 12%. How about direct-to-consumer sites? 3 to 6%. You have an opportunity right now to grab market share. It doesn't matter how small you are, okay? You can grab market share from the big guys because everybody's site is not AEO optimized. You can do this. I'll give you a great example. I went on ChatGPT, and I was looking for some new billing software. I said, I need new billing software. Which ones have the most features if you had to pick only 3 solutions? Okay? Here's what it gave me back. ChargeBee, whatever. So ChargeBee is the first one. I literally have no idea what a ChargeBee is. 0 idea. I still haven't looked it up. I don't know what it is. But they're awesome because I had other ones in my mind that I was thinking of, really big billing software companies. And they didn't show up because ChargeBee is doing it. They're optimizing this. You can grab market share. This is all you have to do right now. There's 90% of sites are not optimized. So you don't need to be an AI expert. You just need to ask AI what it is you need to do. And then I asked AI, what are 5 random things that you know about me? And this says a lot about me, by the way. It says, first off, you're deeply annoyed. I love that it said deeply. You're deeply annoyed by the lack of cookie dough options in the supermarket. This is the level of information, okay, I'm giving AI. And I am deeply annoyed. I'm going to tell you why. When you go to the ice cream section of your supermarket, there's 400 different combinations. Okay, it's like, I never thought of that combination. I should try that. It's unbelievable, the options that are there. Then you go to the cookie dough section, and it's like, hi, chocolate chip, sugar, and something with sprinkles. Like, that's not cool. Like, it's the same idea, right? And it bothers me. A lot of things bother me. I don't know why that bothers me, but it does. And then one of the other top 5 things, it says, you hated watching Bridgerton. I did. That show is terrible. Gilded Age, which people think is just like Bridgerton, it's not. Gilded Age is one of the best shows I've ever seen, right? The only thing you cheered for is Gilded Age. That's amazing. That is amazing. My wife's gonna be like, how'd this session go? Well, when I talked about Gilded Age, it went well. That's fantastic. By the way, it's on HBO Max. I'm not kidding. It's fantastic. If you didn't think I was gonna have a meme with Amy Poehler and Claude on this stage, you're out of your mind, okay? But it is so true, right? It's so true. Another one of the best practices of garbage, 10,000 hours to become an expert. Get out of here. This thing ruined it. Malcolm Gladwell in his book Outliers really brought this to life. It was about these violinists that spend 10,000 hours to be an expert. And then he ruined the planet. He was like, oh my God, I've been doing this for 1 year. You need to do 5 years. 5 years to become a 10,000-hour expert. That's ridiculous. He even came out years later and said, everybody kind of like went over the top with that. I didn't mean it like that much. He's like, my bad, ruined the planet, right? Gave everybody, literally created imposter syndrome. Thank you, Malcolm Gladwell. That's what happened, okay? It is garbage. You can become an expert in AI in 50 hours. I learned more in Darmesh's session about AI in 30 minutes than I have my whole life, okay? It doesn't take that long to become an expert in something, and nobody's really an expert. And you'll get a raise, you'll have job security, it'll be fantastic. Don't buy into this garbage, okay, that you see out there that in order to really know something, you have to whatever. It's not true. Along those same lines is fake it till you make it. Right? We've always been fake it till you make it. Just say yes, you'll figure it out. But that's not the world we're in now. Transparency, that is how we connect, where we're being real. Okay, these are the 3 most powerful words that you could have in your career. I don't know. When someone asks you a question, okay, and you're able to say back, you know what, I don't know. Let me find out and get back to you. There is trust instantly built with that person. You know when you're talking to somebody and you ask them a question, they just start talking like just words are coming out like, oh, this person has zero idea what they're talking about. You're like, I cannot wait to get out of this conversation, right? When you say, I don't know, it's magic. How about Darmesh? Darmesh is a successful dude. He knows what's going on. He goes on LinkedIn the other day. He's like, hey, if you've watched a bunch of TEDx talks like me and have ideas about what you think works best, let me know. He's saying, I don't know, because he was going to give a big speech. He's saying, I don't know. I don't know is magic, okay? It is absolutely magic. And everybody needs to get comfortable with that. This idea of fake it till you make it is terrible. I don't know is the secret sauce of business success. The people who say it the most are the ones I trust the most. That is the world that we are now in. Let's talk about other garbage. This is possibly, listen, I'm not going to stand up here and say I know everything there is about public speaking at all. Clearly, I don't, okay? But there is so much stuff. When I talk about public speaking, you might be on a Zoom with 5 people. You might be in a conference room with 10 people. You might be on a big stage. Whenever you're speaking publicly, first of all, never say you're bad at public speaking. Don't label yourself with that. That is garbage. Every single person on earth gets nervous. Everybody gets nervous before they speak. It's called adrenaline. It's called being a human. If you're not nervous before you have to present, then you are, I don't know what's wrong with you. Okay? So don't be like, I can't public speak. Don't label yourself that way. It only hurts you. Now, the thing that's ridiculous, whenever you look up best public speaking tips, what are best practices? This is what you always see. It's ridiculous. Tell them what you're going to say. Say it, and then tell them what you said. This is like, I can't take it. I can't take it. It drives me bananas. Let me tell you what you should and shouldn't do. Here's literally the worst thing you could ever do in any type of speech. Presentation, I don't care. And you know this is what happens, right? Someone's about to do a presentation, they pull a slide up, and they go, and they have 7 bullet points. These are the 7 things that we're going to go over. And all you're thinking like, oh my God, 7? 7? And then they're on number 2, you're like, oh my God, there's 5 more. I can't do it. I can't. You're not even listening to what they say. They're like, just get to number 6, then we're closer. Okay? Never start out your presentation with these are the things. Right here, we're going to go. Just start talking and say something really great at the start. You're literally starting out boring. Never memorize what you're going to say. Clearly, I did not. But never memorize that what you're going to say. There is nothing more boring on earth than listening to somebody else that has memorized what they're going to say. They're not in it. Okay, they're not in it. And what happens if you're the speaker, you miss one word, one syllable, like, oh my God, I gotta get back on track. What was I gonna say? Oh my God, I don't know. And you have a breakdown. I mean, practice, know basically what you're gonna say, but don't memorize it. That is an epic fail. And then always practice with the TV on. People are like, okay, I'm gonna go practice my speech, and they go into like this thing where there's no noise, this like chamber of silence. That's not how it works. They're here today. People are walking around, they're making noise, they're looking at the phone, whatever. On Zoom, they're going on and off camera. Somebody's filling with papers. Practice with the TV on. You want to practice in a real environment. So don't listen to these best practices where they think that it's a certain way. And avoid traps. There are traps in all of our lives, okay, where they're trying to make us follow best practices that are garbage. I call them man chairs because I've never seen a woman in one, ever, okay, ever. But it's terrible. So, like, you go and you say, hey, your significant other, do you want to go shopping? Okay? And they're like, okay, I'll go. Reluctantly, you go. And then you walk in the store, and what does every guy do? Okay, you walk around, and they sit down, pull out their phone, Maybe they fall asleep. Okay, don't follow that best practice. Hey, put them there. They're trying to fool you. That is not the way you build a relationship. Walk around, say, hey, do you like this? And then she'll say, no, it's disgusting. You have horrible taste. That's okay. That's okay. Participate. Don't follow this pattern of best practices for guys, or if it's a girl, great too. I've just never seen one sitting there. Participate. Okay? Don't fall into these traps. Let me give you some dumpster fire, rapid marketing best practices that are complete and total trash. So LinkedIn, everyone says on LinkedIn you can't put a link in your post. It's not true. It's just not true. Metricool did the study of 500,000 posts. It does not depress engagement by putting a link in your post. It just doesn't. The only reason sometimes it makes it go down in terms of your post circulating is you're trying to take people off platform. So if your post is epically boring, it's about a webinar that literally nobody wants to go to, including yourself, okay, it's not going to do well. But if you have some sort of awesome thing that you're getting people to click on, just by having the link does not depress performance. These are best practice myths that just get circulated. And the weird part about these marketing best practices, if you Google it right now, you will find like 20 articles saying never put a link in your post. There should be like laws about like putting in nonsense that's not true. How about spam trigger words? If you put certain words in your subject line, in your body copy, and whatever, that's the reason your emails aren't doing well. That's the reason you're going to go to the junk folder. 20% of all emails, business, consumer, doesn't matter how big of a brand you are, will go to the junk or spam folder. It's not because you put free in the subject line. It's not because you used an emoji, an exclamation mark, you capitalize something, you use brackets. It's not. Spam trigger words are from 1985, okay? Yet you can go on right now and Google, what are spam trigger words for this year? And it'll tell you a brand new list. It's a best practice that is garbage. Anything that's a best practice is literally the first thing that you should test, because it's not true, okay? It's actual trash. The other thing is measure everything, right? That's what everybody says. Attribution. Attribution is total and complete garbage. Uh-oh. Why do I say that? Okay, why is it so dangerous? You know, you do a search ad, and it does well. You send an email, it does well. Like, oh my God, we sent an email, we got all this business. We got to double down on that. You assign all this value. That's not what's going on. That's not what's going on. You need to do surround sound. HubSpot does a great job of this. They really do. You put out all this thought leadership, all this stuff. You ask for nothing. You're putting out value. And then when the person is in market for the thing that you do, that last thing that you send them, okay, it's going to get them over the top, all right? But you can't just assign value to that one thing that you did. Marketing now is surround sound. That is how you win, by constantly providing value, value, value. And when they're in market for what you do, you are there. You are there. You're not constantly selling. You're providing value. So in their minds, they think well of you. If you are not thinking of value first and what you're putting out into the universe, that is how you lose right now. That is it. What about weekends? What about weekends? Targeting business professionals on the weekends. Oh no, everyone has a work-life balance. Nobody checks their email on the weekends, ever. I mean, at 5 o'clock on Friday, I shut it down. Don't look at email until 9 a.m., no matter what. 0% chance. I don't look at my Teams, no Slack, I shut it down. Cool. That would be amazing. That's never happened to me once in my life, okay? Work-life balance is a little bit of a myth. You need to have a work-life balance, but it's not this rigid period of time, okay? It's this bigger thing. And believe it or not, massive surge in web traffic from VP up in a level contacts in the last year. And click-through rates have gone up 68% for business-to-business emails on the weekends, especially email newsletters sent out on Sundays. I like reading those newsletters on Sundays because nobody's bothering me, okay? If you're like thinking that weekends are off limits for your marketing, you are missing out on incredible, incredible real estate. And industry averages in general are absolute garbage. Everything's garbage. I have a problem with everything. I'm realizing that. All you should think about with your marketing is that you're a swimmer. That is what you are. Swimmers, all they want to do is they want to beat themselves. It's a very, very difficult sport because you get your time and you have to beat yourself. That's all that matters. That's all that matters in your marketing. Industry averages are complete nonsense. Well, I don't know what brands they're measuring. I don't know what their offers are. I don't know what people think about their brands. I don't know about the timing, and yet you're chasing them. What's the industry average open rate for blah, blah, blah? Who cares? Who actually cares? It doesn't help your business. You're chasing a myth. You want to benchmark everything. What are my email open rates and click-through rates for my newsletter, for our social posts on Instagram? What are our engagement rates? What are? And then every time you do another thing, did you beat yourself like a swimmer? Did you improve? Don't focus on industry averages. They're literally meaningless, made-up garbage. And in general, if you face this, we all do. Oh, in my industry, I'm in a regulated industry. I'm in B2B healthcare, SaaS, fintech, government, blah, whatever. We can't do that. We can't do that. That is not the world anymore. When you hear that we can't do that, you need to fight that battle. You need to test the thing. You cannot give up, okay? Because the thing that you're giving up on is very likely what is going to work, all right? That is what's going to work. So now what? Now what do we do with all this? All right, here's the deal. We spent the last 3 days at Inbound. It has been an incredible event, okay? And you just have so much that you want to do. I am 2 Celsius deep today, okay? That's a problem. I'm aware of it. I'm working on it, all right? But literally, you're going to get back. You have all these plans. Oh, my God, I'm going to write 16 blogs. We're going to do 400 posts. We're going to do our loop 7 different ways. It's going to be amazing. And then on Monday morning, you get to work, and you have 4 billion emails and everything you weren't able to do. So here's the gig. What are we really going to do? We're going to watch the new show, The Paper, that came out today, the spinoff of The Office. We're going to forget half of the people that we met here by accident, okay? We're like, oh my God, I have to take out the garbage, I have to get my laundry, I have to do all the things. So here's what we got to do. Walking out of here today, okay, you need to find 3 things that you're actually going to do. 3 specific things. Say, I am going to do these. Everything else you're also going to do, but 3 things I'm actually going to make sure that I do. Okay, because Inbound is a fire hose of awesomeness. But you need to get actionable things immediately. Don't let it go, because you're like, oh, 6 months, I haven't gotten to it. Do 3 things. All right, here's my cheesy thing I want to tell you about. I have a book coming out. 100% of all of the proceeds are going to the V Foundation for Cancer Research. Okay? Oh, thank you. So, thank you. So last week, we put the book up for pre-sale. And we went to #1 on Amazon, which is pretty wild. And the title is legit. Stupider people than you have done it. This is the story. This is what my grandpa said to me when I was really struggling in my business. It turned everything around for me because I realized there has to be somebody out there stupider than me, and they were able to do it. It inspired me, which it should not have, but it did. And this is all about life lessons. So the book might be complete garbage. It probably will be. But I want to kick cancer's butt. That's the only reason I'm doing it. So if you want to get the book, you will be helping to kick cancer's butt with me. That's all that matters to me. So hopefully you check that out. It's available now. Let's connect on LinkedIn, Instagram. I share a lot of bad memes, horrendous memes, as you can see already. I would love to do that. And lastly, I have a really random podcast, which I don't know how. I went to #1 out of 55,000 marketing podcasts in the United States. I appreciate you all checking out. And it's a blast being here. I love you all. You're amazing people. Thank you so much.